Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to rounds 4 to 6 of the CGL Season 2 finals. Tonight, I am your host, Dwarf, followed by Jungle Foe. How are we going on, Jungle?
Terrific. Thank you very much.
Last night, a few interesting games, few nice wins there. We got we go back through the the 3 rounds. We had Avoid the Zoid quite easily muscling out the first game. TNS pulling out a nice strat there in the mill base, getting second game, and then a nice convincing win there at the end. Nutshot almost making a bit of a hiccup there and ruining the fun, but no joke, esports coming in with third win. Any nice plays. I think I wanted to talk a little bit about the nutshot or the Evermore strat that's been going around lately. What's your take on it? On camping outside the zone and using as much meds as you can to kind of tank that circle?
Well, it's definitely a strategy that definitely relies more on placement points than kill points. So if something were to change in terms of that balance and kills were rewarded more heavily, then that strat really would fall out of the meta. But as it is now, placing well is a lot more beneficial to your team's scoring than it is kills. So really, at the moment, a strategy that just allows you to survive longer than anyone else works out well. And last night, it was demonstrated really well by Nutshot.
Yeah, it's a strat that's getting used by more and more players. I've noticed I've been getting, seeing people use it a lot more often in quite a few games. Been watching quite a few streams of people using a similar tactic. I myself personally don't like it. I'm fully against kills registering with more points or having just a bit more weight on them. Because it just seems to be like it's a very cheap strategy. It works, as we seen last night. Nutshot getting second place twice in games 2 and 3 for his team there. But it just seems like a very, very cheap kind of tactic.
Indeed, but as we jump in with the first game of tonight, we see a southeasterly plane heading over military base towards South Georgia Pole. We see plenty of players jumping out early, heading in the directions of Milta and possibly up towards Lipovka and Yasnaya. We also see a handful of teams, heading towards military base and possibly even Novo. As we continue on, though, we've got definitely the potential of Primorsk and Pachinki, and obviously the South Georgia Pole and North Georgia Pole, and we might even see Nutshot yet again go towards Zaki, as well as Rozhok and Severny being possibilities.
Yeah, no, definitely a bit more of a dramatic plane this time, cutting just the bottom side of that main river there. So as you said, yeah, a lot of teams traveling north, a few teams opting to go mill base, Cozzy and Hawkins and that, securing Novo by the looks of it. Yeah, a lot of those teams are going to push north, pretty much try and find a vehicle as fast as they can. I expect a few teams to head up to towards Severny and stuff like that. Yasnaya being a really big town. As I think we're going to jump down in towards the mill base right now. Ezekiel looking for a guns, just picked up a level 2 vest. Not finding any weapons. It looks like he's in this position of Spag Bowl in second game last night, but yeah, he might be getting some loot here. But yeah, he's got a few guys around him.
His entire team is in factory, it looks like, possibly with one player somewhere else, but they have 2 enemies close to their south at ATC and then a further 2 over at apartments. So they are just trying to group together and just loot up quickly. I'm not sure what happened to their 4th team member. He may have gone down already, but as they continue to loot, they'll head away from ATC. Looks like we have had a few players get stuck in lobby actually with some technical difficulties. A few players like resolves and such. So we will be missing a few players with this first game, unfortunately, as we continue on.
Yeah, I was just looking at the top right corner there, 80 alive. I haven't seen much in the kill feed. As we look at the TNS boys here, this is a strat of theirs. They like it. They like the military base. It got them a second position last night. It got them the win for the second round last night, and it positioned them quite well throughout the other games. So yeah, these guys having a bit better luck tonight in terms of that ATC tower. As we go towards the circle, and it is a Gatka circle. So quite a few players in the town, in the circle. Quite a few players up there in Georgia Pool town doing crates and North George. I think we got a bit of confrontation around through Rozhok. But yeah, definitely a decent circle for the majority of players in the game at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of action's kicking off here at apartments against Dark and Stormy, as they just continue to loot. He has spotted one of the players up on the hill. It looks like he has a Vector as well. So with only a revolver in hand, he's probably not hoping to do too much damage here, just hold him off while his team continues to loot and hopefully find another gun to finish him off with. But it looks like the D is backing off into the hills.
Yeah, Dick taking a shot there from the Dark and Stormy revolver, which is that's pretty nice hit from that kind of distance.
Yeah, it was a good shot. I was impressed to see him land something like that, if it was him indeed. It looks like not many of the players are actually inside the circle at the moment. We've got a few teams over at Prim, possibly two, and I believe they shot at each other a bit off at the start, but they look to have separated now. Still two teams hanging around at military base. Looks like Zeke and his team have chosen to leave military. They might be wrapping around to the hills to see if they can flank those guys at apartments. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, that is the guys from Lunatics. They are currently the finals leaders right now, sitting on 235 placement points, racking up 28 kill points last night, the most out of any other team. So they did really, really well. You can see them just moving out. They know that the TNS guys are here. Bouncy keeping a close watch with that AK in the 4x. Taking a few pot shots if you can at that UAS. Hitting a couple shots right there. Some nice shots by Bouncy. Yeah, just pushing them out.
Just holding down the angle there very nicely, but doesn't look to be too much action here at military as those teams just continue to loot and space out a bit more. We have a fair few teams over at Georgia Pole at the moment. Looks like we've got at least 2 or 3 on the south side and possibly 2 more on the north. Looks like we've got Avoid the Zoid in there as well. Lots of high class players in there. We've got Zoid Mate, Next Type, Extreme PG, Electric, just to name a few. So really, hopefully if those teams get closer, we might see some really entertaining fights here as they finish up looting those areas.
Yeah, quite a lot of loot up there towards George, so a lot of buildings to cover too, so they may not even run across anyone, but they're going to know someone's around. They're going to see open doors and stuff like that. It's a pretty highly congested kind of city up there, so yeah, Champ's just basically his team looting out these crates. They can be a bit of a pain in a squad game, not knowing where your squads actually pass through, but these guys should have kind of routes they take when they go to these kinds of places.
Yes, it looks like we see K2 actually is heading up towards Severny, so they're still traveling around trying to find a place to loot. But we're now on board with Nutshot. Once again, who's up at Zaki doing something that you're not a fan of, I hear, but he looks to have found a bit of loot, tier 1, tier 2 stuff, got a shotgun, and those meds will come in handy later on with his strat indeed. I'd love to see a team just go Zaki for the hell of it, just knowing that Nutshot probably will head there just to shut him down early, and also, you know, it's decent loot, but it's unlikely to see that happen.
Zaki is good loot, but it's just, yeah, someone really needs to go up there. He's going there almost every game. He's getting away with an entire town's worth of loot. They're letting him be able to play his strat out, and someone really needs to shut it down. So we check this crate down here in the ruins, and it's sitting with an M24 there with a military vest and a ghillie suit. So that's a nice crate. We do see someone to the south moving in.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to continue to loot around there. It looks like there's one player near ruins. He may come across it who will see that smoke. So, I mean, this early in the game, an M249 can be really handy when you come across some vehicles traveling in towards the circle as they are already inside.
Yeah, we got VFox and Baxter, so I think that's the boys from Team Benevolent there. Yeah, just moving into that crate. And it's going to be interesting. I'm like I said, I'm not a fan of Nutshot strat, but it seems to work out. So as this game progresses, we will see if his strat works out for the long run again and gets himself some nice placement for his team.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like Zeke and those guys have actually found refuge down far south in that military island, so they really did just back out of the military base itself, not wanting to contest with those guys that already secured those apartments, and are now just circling around the back of those compounds and just looting up briefly there. It looks like we're back on with Primorse though. One of those teams has decided to leave, not wanting to get in too much trouble early on, and are fleeing north towards the center of the circle as the other guys in Prim will follow suit.
Yeah, Succulent sniping there, moving out of Prim, going over towards the quarry there, just trying to get out, and they've done as much looting as they need. Seem to be okay equipped there on board with Headlow, rocking a Scar. Too sure about attachment wise, but seems to be doing okay. So yeah, there's not many buildings in this area. So sorry, there's not many buildings in this area, so it is very open and barren. But they seem to be pretty much free roaming along that coast road, which is actually pretty nice. There are some nice little clumps of buildings along that coast road to loot, and with no one really inside except that other team down in Primorse. Yeah,
they will have free range to just pick up all the loot in those small compounds as they continue to head up the coast. But we jump on board with those guys back at apartments now. It looks like there's one enemy in another apartment just south of Matt Damon. But in these close quarters, it's not likely that they're going to run into each other unless they spot each other in the buildings and decide to rush him. because if they see those open doors, they usually don't enter. So unless Matt Damon has heard or his team knows of the location, it's unlikely they'll run into each other, as he'll just camp out inside the building until they're gone.
Yeah, he's probably just going to wait it out here. Yeah, I don't think they're probably going to move anytime soon. That circle is halfway through its first rotation, but yeah, not much happening here at apartments really.
Is it just me or we can't see his name tag? Is that a glitch? What's okay?
Yeah, that is a possible
we don't know who it is. We don't know who it is. Is he actually in the game? He might have disconnected. All right, but he is very visible through the window, but we can't actually see him. All right, that's strange, but we'll keep going. One of them may spot him through the window as we continue, but there are those 3 guys still at school as a red zone now spawns. It will only affect those guys in school and apartments, fortunately, who are already inside buildings, but it looks like Dark and Stormy's run into them, so it must be a teammate that has disconnected, possibly reconnected. I'm not sure, but we'll have to... it looks like he's going to kill his teammate for loot. Unfortunate there for Crossy, as he does get taken out by his own teammate, it looks. But those connection issues coming in again.
Yeah, Dark and Stormy pulling a Dr. Disrespect there and finishing his teammate off. Unfortunate there for Crossy. Must have just got the DC there. Maybe his mum picked up the phone and it cut the dial-up out. But yeah, we'll move our board on that and we'll see what else is going on around the world. I'm sure there's some fights going down in some other places. These guys start to move in towards the circle. We've got a couple of teams at Yaz, a team up there at Severny, and we still got the TNS guys. I'm pretty sure are still down on military base. So we go on board here with Extrude. Putting down a bit of covering fire here as these guys moved past his yellows. I don't think he was happy about it.
No, Extrude's teammate Happy seems to have found that M249, so he's equipped that happily, and he's probably going to be able to put that to good use. Unfortunately, wasn't able to blow up that vehicle that drove past him just a moment ago, but he was probably still inside a building. So looks like VFox as well has a ghillie suit, so they did get that crate, and they're very happy with it indeed. An early game pickup.
Yeah, the ghillie suit's going to be nice. The M249 definitely far superior pickup there, I think, in my opinion, over the ghillie suit. The ghillie being very nice for late game, circle and stuff like that. But that M249 is going to be putting in work as guys are going to be in pretty much an open field. Gatka doesn't have that much cover. There's some nice little ridges around the outside. And that M249 can destroy any vehicle in a matter of seconds. We've seen it happen. If you can connect as many shots as you need, it can really blow any vehicle up almost instantly.
Yeah, it looks like we just jumped on board with P for Potato, and his teammate Edge just died, unfortunately, as Power and them just back off again after that kill. So it was a nice pickup for them. Didn't want to continue to move in and finish off those teammates, but it looked like there's a bit of action here to the north of Pachinki as we jump on board with Somatic. They are scoping out those guys in the compound. There's an enemy team just down the hill. It looks like they have finished off one already, but he might run into Dinomancer in a second here, and that could cause a bit of a fuss if he hasn't got the right gun equipped.
Barney the Dinosaur being knocked outside the play zone there. I'm not too sure whether he copped a bullet there and was downed and then killed by the play zone, but unfortunate for him actually falling. But yeah, Somatic rocking that Car 98 there with a scar and a nice little scope on it. But yeah, just trying to put pressure on these guys that are down the hill from them.
Yeah, Barney could have been another connection issue fault there, but we won't know until we take a look at it later on. But as M3 now looking to get a bit more aggressive on these teams, as another team does whiz by in some vehicles, and it's unclear here if they do want to continue to engage or just back off here, because it is a 3v3. Yeah,
Dinomancer holding this nice little ridge here next to the tents. His teammates know that they're kind of safe, but can be flanked through from the south if they get caught out there.
Looks like they're not getting too aggressive, and those guys that are just north of Pachinki are looking to head back a bit further and not wanting to get too aggressive as that second zone has spawned. We might take a look at it just to see where it's landed. It could force some teams closer to the coast, but no, it looks like it's just going to be another Gatka circle, so those people down at the bridge and ferry pier up will be safe for another zone. But all those guys still up at Severny are taking some crazy damage, as they will have to get into the zone pretty soon if they don't get a move on.
Yeah, it seems to me Barney the Dinosaur has just been killed with a headshot from an AKM, so I'm not too sure about that technical difficulty we had right then, because he did seem to die moments earlier outside the play zone as we go on board with Joe's guys here. Still sitting in school, got that Car 98 and a level 3 helmet, rocking the panda and the miniskirt, bit more aerodynamic, easy to jump out of those windows with that bit of extra legroom.
Definitely. Looks like Hawkins now has knocked out Chillville, so something else might be happening. He did land at Novo originally with his team, but they obviously have moved in now across the Western Bridge, and they have run into those guys near Ferry Pier as they're doing some long-distance shooting here between compounds. Looks like Toby's stuck out here behind a shack, and his teammates are off at the coast, so it looks like his team might be able to get revived up. Not too much of an issue here, but he equips the silenced M16 and it begins to peek the corner.
Yeah, the TNS guys just made that final push across the river there in a boat. And yeah, they ended up running into 100% pure Gatka there. Hawkins holding the edge of the circle, knowing teams might be pushing late onto that coast side. They're in a pretty nice position right now. But Toby having a bit of problem here as these guys are holding this ridge very nicely.
Looks like Hawkins has an 8x scope on his car, which is very nice indeed for these long-distance shoots. He's well aware of where Toby is, most likely. He's taking a few shots at Bouncy now at the moment. And Spaghetti, who are down behind that boat, but he does seem to take some turn fire here, probably from Toby, who's just suppressing Hawkins now as his teammates back off. Well played by him there to give his teammates an exit. Yeah,
Toby there making a nice play there, getting a nice hit on Hawkins just to give a bit of room to his team, let them move up as the pure Gatka guys have two guys still hunkered down in that building. We've got a crate that's just dropped over North Gatka, a couple teams around it. And wonder what's in store for that. Hopefully no more show bags tonight. We have seen the M249 from the first crate, so luckily something decent's come out of that.
It looks like P for Potato just finished off Invisible Scars, so a bit of action's going on here with Champs just downside. He's got that downstairs. Sorry, he has that pump action shotgun. So if P for Potato does decide to walk down those stairs, it might be the last thing he does. He has that M16 equipped though, so he might choose to jump off the balcony and get a bit of space so he can scope him out. But as those two guys are left alone, it looks like they're the sole survivors of their team. So with one enemy team close by to the north, they will have to hold off for now. Oh, they are a team. Apparently they are a team. I'm getting confused. I thought they were shooting at each other. Apparently Champs and P for Potato are together. So never mind that. They were potentially fighting another team that they just beat. Apologies for that.
Yeah, we got Smiley there knocking out Schoolyard with the AKM. Yeah, he might have ended up being a bit of a mashed potato there. But yeah, fortunately they are teammates, so no friendly fire hopefully. Not today.
Yeah, I just saw he take out a teammate. I thought it was next to Champs, so got a little bit confused there. But we are on board with School, who did just get knocked out. Looks like they're getting into a bit of a fuss here near Gatka with another enemy team just a bit further to the west. It looks like School will be all right, though, as he crawls behind the building.
Yeah, it's looks like a bit of a rave over here with all that smoke. All we need is some strobe lights now. We're going to have a bit of a party out here in the wheat field. But yeah, quite a few teams around, Smiles and stuff like that. These guys holding a really nice position, seem to be well equipped too, rocking that SKS there with the extended clip on it and an 8x. So Smiles looking to put in some damage. Just scoping out this tree, knows someone's over there, but he does know that there's quite a few guys to his immediate east towards the Pachinki kind of hill.
Looks like Smiles is just scoping out those hills now. He's well aware of those guys that are just a bit further down, obviously, but doesn't want to get anyone else rocking up on them if they decide to push later on. But it looks like the entire team is in one building, so it will be pretty hard to push them.
Yeah, they're holding a very nice compound in a decent circle. So as we see this circle moving on, we see a couple of these teams. We're on board with K2, overlooking those guys on the map, trying to push down this hill in the car and find a compound that's not taken. There is two left there, but you can see Extrude and NZ and all that guys taking out Gatka. So holding some nice angles through Gatka, which is pretty open field. They got a lot of good cover, a lot of buildings in this town, and can hold down some nice suppressing fire in quite an open field just outside of them as you see all those cars now move down from the north.
Looks like Raz and his team are just booking it across the fields, just trying to get into those compounds before they get too many shots off, as they are now look to have all survived it. A few hits, but not too bad as they get a bit closer to Next Type, who are now well aware of where they are. So it looks like there'll be plenty of squads all within the same vicinity here. It looks like Plutonium is throwing some nades now. It looks like two different squads in the same building. Power AU and his team camped upstairs in that barn there. Craig looks to be dropping pretty low, but Plutonium's just throwing some smokes out, trying to get some cover as he moves back.
Yeah, Plutonium just trying to get out there. Him and Senzu jumping on that buggy as he laid down a bit of suppressing smoke cover for his team. They look to move into the hills here, regroup with the rest of the guys, and continue to go up.
Yeah, not wanting to stick around too long. They are inside the zone, so they possibly just want to get out of here and get to a safer place for that positioning in the late game. That they will get a bit close to nutshot here, or snapshot, as they are more commonly called, as they look to pull up. So this might be the end of them here, as they've got a full three-man team just filled up inside that building. They will possibly run into each other here.
Yeah, Snapshot's heard that buggy pull up. These guys covering angles, almost copying a shot in the back of the head there. Yeah, 3v2 right now in this situation. So I get some really, really well-skilled players, Blackout, Snapshot and stuff like that. These guys know exactly what they're doing. They put in some really big hours. These are some of the leaderboard contenders of this season and other seasons that have passed. So really just waiting this out and playing it passive, playing it safe, and choosing their fight.
Yeah, it looks like they might have sprung the trap a bit early there. If they stayed quiet inside the building, those guys probably would have ran inside. But now that Plutonium and Sensu know where they are probably just going to hold outside, and they've got them pinned here as the rest of their team will start to move in.
Yeah, Plutonium try to hold this bathroom angle here. It is a small building, but there are a lot of angles, and Sensu getting taken out there, almost knocking out Blackout.
Looks like he has been knocked out, but they're not looking to push him too quickly, as they only got him through the wall, so he didn't push in. That Godless Plutonium might be able to revive him here before they push him, but if Snapshot and his team figure out what's going on, they will move in. But Godless now has knocked out Extreme 2G, so very well played by him. Looks to be just jumping through the window with that AK in hand. Blackout now runs outside to try and get him, but Plutonium dismisses him quickly, and looks like Snapshot is now left to revive Extreme 2G, and it's a 2v3.
Yeah, they Godless landing that shot there, putting them in a really nice position and getting Snapshot through the window. Oh, that's beautiful, these guys, and finishing him off. Great plays here by Godless and Plutonium.
Well played by him using that AK. You don't see it often, jump shots with the AK, usually with the shotty, but it's good enough to do the job if you have a full clip and you can just continually jump and spray, and they're on low health. But it looks like Extreme 2G now has been killed, so that's a very unfortunate death for their team there. They well and truly had the advantage with those two players rocking up, but obviously they knew there was someone in there, and they just played it smart.
Yeah, that's it. They waited, they took their fight, and they took it at the right time. We take a nice little overlook here, Animal Alpha and stuff like that, sitting up on this nice little crest. One of my favorite positions to sit in a circle like this. Verilos fighting straight into everybody else, and Sardu just cutting him down with the M16 there. He got burst fire. That's not a place to ride your Ducati, mate.
No, not too smart there. He wanted him to just get inside the zone as quickly as possible here, but we're on board with Devs. He did get a few shots taken on him here. He will just lie down and be able to med up safely with that med kit, so fortunate for him.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who was connecting those shots there. It could have been Sticks and Stones, or it could have been the other team to his immediate northeast. We've got the circle pushing in now. It's going to be interesting to see where this pushes people. Hopefully it gets everyone. You can see a lot of teams to the north of the circle towards that V. Lanny and stuff, that holding that gutter along there, which is kind of nice. And a few of the buildings adjacent to it have quite a few teams in it. But this circle now coming in, and it's done exactly that. I've jinxed everybody. Everyone's going to hate me now, but guess what? You've all got to move south. So I expect another barrage of cars as everyone makes their way to their vehicles and gets to a new position, because that's the strat.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of players are going to have to move. Only a few are actually inside the zone at the moment, so you'll see a lot of players head towards their vehicles now and start to get a move on, try to get a few of those precious buildings that are inside the zone. But just near Quarry, there aren't many of them unless you go inside it, so there will be a lot of open fields and shootouts here on the hills.
Yeah, I can expect a lot of fights here. We go on board with Somatic over here. Seems to be a nice little gunfight going on here. Trying to pluck off some players on the hill. Everyone, yeah, Dick knocking out Bob Pork just there with a scar early. Was on low health, getting a nice angle on these guys. The other dudes have high ground advantage, but yeah, pushing in this compound, there is a little bit of cover with the fence there. These guys are going to hopefully try and pick him up, but not doing so, I don't think.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they'll be able to make it happen here, but we are seeing now just being able to med up, so they're not getting pushed just now, but they are on the edge of the circle, so they only have 45 seconds to make a move, and there is another team directly to their west waiting for them. Obviously heard those shots, and another player does go down, so Bov will just have to crawl to those rocks and now trying some nades to suppress.
Yeah, I'm getting knocked out there by Dick. Dick landing some nice shots there. So yeah, Nade not connecting, which is unlucky for him. So we got some kill log. Xfear taking out Uncry with a frag grenade. You can actually see that, but a nice little Kobe. As Joskis comes up the hill and finishes the job.
Yeah, well played by them. Waited their time and just finished it up. So all those players are now going to have to get a move on with only 10 seconds before that zone does pop, and it is quite a distance. So if they haven't got a vehicle, it's going to be quite a run. As we zoom in here now, looks like Dynomancer just got hit by his own vehicle, so that's never something you want to see happen. But as he keeps crawling, he might be able to get back inside, and Skank will hopefully be able to revive him.
Yeah, Skank, they're going to have to give him a good old slap around the head and tell him how to ride a motorbike. He hit that brick wall, I think, a little bit too hard. So, yeah, he'll probably get a talking to for that one. But you can see AU Grunt there just holding this angly nose. He would have heard that black, and he knows that they're in there. But over the hill, we have a lot of these teams pushing through now, through these hills. Not much cover. Smiles and stuff like that, definitely going to be watching their left-hand flank. They are going to know people are coming through as they push down to this hill, but they're pushing into open territory. You can see that crate's dropped right in the middle of that field too. So I wonder if anyone's got the balls to go for that. I don't think so. But on board here, looking over at Predge has been knocked out here, and Power AU taking some heavy hits right now while he's in the blue. Dodging a few bullets and trying to make his way in as much as he can. He's going to hit that wheat field as quick as he can and try and met up and hold a bit of cover. But I'm not too sure if he's going to make it here. No, it does look like he's going to get in there just in time. Hopefully not get scoped out by anyone. And he's actually fallen. That's as close as it gets.
Yeah, it looks like Merrick was just lying in wait there. Did take out Rennie, who had confronted them just moments before, but survived that and lived to take out Power here. So he's just lying down here behind that Dacia, wanting to heal up before he confronts any more players.
Yeah, Merrick opting for that hide behind that Dacia there, trying to hold an angle, and yeah, well, it's pretty much free kills, shooting anyone running into the blue at this stage. The damage that blue deals to you is quite horrendous this late in the game. So, anyone that's spending a substantial amount of time in there is going to be low health, and 1 or 2 rounds, and you can find some really free kills.
Yeah, it's all too easy when you are the first one into the zone. You've got players running in towards you, but Merrick played that well. Looks like we've got plenty of teams here, all just shuffling around the outside of the circle here. We've got 50 seconds until it moves in, and it looks to be another southern one. So as K2 here is crouching down, it looks to know that he's just scoping out those players inside here, and he does that third person shooting through the window here. Doesn't have to jump too much with that ledge. He takes some shots for Lestral. He pushes him in and takes him out nicely with only a little bit of health left, but does get retaliated on there, and it looks like he's just going to be able to get a revive, hopefully, if his team can move in and finish it off, which they indeed do. So well played by them. K2 played it smart with the trade.
Yeah, 3XE, they're doing an aggressive push. K2 sacrificing a bit of his life, a bit of his armor, a bit of his helmet, but yeah, his team getting the res there, so that worked out good for them. As we're on board with Baking here, he's seems to be just watching his sixth. He knows he must have heard a bit of gunfight over the hill. You can see the TNS guys over here. As Godless is still holding this building that he fought so heavily hard for. Just make sure that he's clearing the back of this circle. But they are going to move as this circle convoys over the hill. There are a lot of people around these hills. So you can see that Merrick and stuff like that, V17 down there holding the buildings as we've got Animal Alpha. And there's about 3 teams about to collide on this hill right now. So this is going to be a bit of a fight going down. As we're on board with Animal Alpha, rocking the M16, hugging the edge of that circle, just trying to make it in. Is he going to see anybody? He's got guys to his left, immediate left. He's going to take some shots. He's going to connect. He's going to take a bit of blue damage. He's going to have to move if he connects the shots, and he's gone down. Untainted there, finishing Alma Alpha outside the circle. Yeah, you stop for a second, and it costs you your life. So Headlow there hitting some nice shots. Very nice shot there on V-Fox. You can see there he's just trying to finish these guys off with his Car 98, trying to clear the edge, not letting his teammates get a res there.
Yeah, well played by Headlow there, just finishing off that team, but he will be trying to finish off Fox here now before he has to move in, but that circle has spawned. It is a southwestern one, so only a few players are inside it. The rest will have to move in here, all camping the edges here with only one player in the middle. So as that circle moves in the next minute or so, Hawkins and stuff will have to get a move on as they are still outside.
Yeah, Hawkins and stuff like that, and Cozzy here trying to make a late push into the circle. Hopefully they can get up onto that hill because he's going to be doing some serious damage. On board with Vustum. Hawkins, you can see there, Hawkins and Cozzy making it in, medding up. So they're holding a nice little angle. I'm not too sure if anyone's going to know that they're back here. I might get a nice little spot or pick off on the nice flank here around the hill. But he does have Avoid the Zoid right above him.
Yeah, it's unlikely Vust will see that coming, just waiting inside the blue, but Vust is moving up a bit further away now, so lucky for him, he won't run into them at the moment here. But there are still those teams to the south just waiting for those guys to move in. So it's unlucky here for Hawkins. He isn't in a very good position, but if he does manage to push through, it will be well deserved.
Yeah, these guys are going to be pushing straight up into Avoid the Zoid. Avoid the Zoid holding a nice little ridge right here. And yeah, they're going to be taking pressing fire. There you go. Hawkins getting taken down. And Les finishing off the job. Zoid mate hitting Cozzy with the M4. Taking a bit of damage. Going to have to met up. That circle is coming in, but Avoid the Zoid, they're doing what they do best. Vustum trying to make the same flank. V1 just watching that angle though, and he's going to take shots, and Les finish him off. Les is on point again. Yet again, Les with that precision shooting that he was displaying last night. He was pinpoint accurate. Merrick's still actually outside the circle. I'm not too sure about this one. He's met it up. He's waiting. He's getting heavily fired upon, but he is probably going to go down here. No, he has clutched it. He's clutched the heel. He's copping a hit. He's copped a hit in the head, and he's going to finally go down there by Untainted. 10 remain. So Avoid the Zoid still alive. And VFox over here just hiding in the bushes, probably scared for his life, as I think it is a 4v4 versus 1. And you can see there, next hype, getting the flank, and as we have a 4v4 right here now. So this is going to be an interesting fight here. Really interesting. I suggest that these guys know exactly where each other is. They would have heard shots as both teams have fired upon people recently, so they're going to know positioning. But expect a nice flank. You can see V17 down the edge there, trying to make a flank, pushing back up towards his team. Headlow just trying to cover both angles of those trees. As you can see down on the minimap, Avoid the Zoid spreading out a lot more. Maybe V1 pushing with that aggressive push around to the right, but they know that they've got the better circle advantage right now, so they're probably just going to hold that angle. As you can see here, we got, Deaths won't kill you, just watching this rock, trying to get an angle on V1, but if he does step out there, Zoid is more than likely going to pop his head off. V1 going now with the really aggressive push around the bottom side. Nice little ridge there. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, nice rotation there by V. Positioning always is key in these late games with a 4v4. Haven't seen many of these in CGL so far, but Def's Nut won't kill you. Does seem to have an idea that V is over there and is holding his angle. The zone is starting to move in here now, so Avoid the Zoid will have to push in. They've got 3 together. V's on the flank. As they all push in, they've all got assault rifles equipped. Not wanting to do too much sniping here as it gets a bit close, but they've got those Def Leads holding the place down. So Untainted now taking shots here from Zoid, and V taking some damage, but we'll be able to met up again as the next type does move in. He's pushing in with the AK in hand, so now next type dropping Headlow there with a nice headshot with the AKM. Untainted returns fire on Zoid, but does drop himself. We've only got 2 to 4 left. Next type is low. He is healing himself up as Zoid moves in and continues with his teammates low. Les gets dropped now. Good shot there by Sardu with the M16 in hand. Def spraying down, holding fire. Zoid's now dropped. Next type knocks out Sardu though. Looks to be a 1v2.
Yeah, Death won't kill you. They're hitting a really nice shot. Still being able to res his mate there, so he's going to be able to get him up. You can see Avoid the Zoid. They're getting real aggressive once they're down 2 players there. Next type finally killing off Headlow with the AK. V1 finally killing Sardu. So it looks like a 2v4 right now. These guys in a bad situation, and more than likely Avoid the Zoid are going to do exactly what they do, and that's going to spread. They're going to spread around. They're going to flank V1 going back to that bottom side. He knows that ridge cover's good. He knows someone's there, but Death won't kill you. Getting taken down there by Zoid mate. Zoid mate just hitting that shot. Untainted on some very low health, and it looks like the M4 they're finally killing off Death won't kill you as Avoid the Zoid. They win first game again. That was a pretty exciting ending there. Pretty brutal, but Zoid and his team holding their angles, playing the flank. That was really nice.
Yeah, the positioning was amazing there by Avoid the Zoid. They're strong with that in all their games, and they are consistent with taking those wins in the open fields. I was talking to them after the games last night, actually, with their 1 win in an open field situation. They always talk about how they're so much stronger when it's in those opened out areas in the finishing, because their positioning really takes hold, unlike in buildings and such. So when you see things like this happen up on the hills behind some trees, they really are just the strongest team at the moment.
Yeah, they can hold their angles well. You can see the nice split there. So yeah, avoid the Zoid taking out the first game, round 4. We've got 2 more games coming up, guys, so stay tuned. We'll be back shortly as we set up this second game. Yeah, see you soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the round 5 of CGL Season 2 finals. I am Dwarf. Alongside me is Jungle. Jungle, what did you take of that first game?
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I probably enjoyed that the most out of the finals so far with that open finish with the 4v4. That's always exciting to watch.
Yeah, no, definitely a nice finish there for Avoid the Zoid. Taking out the win there. It was definitely a really good play by them, pushing out Succulent Sniping and Team Benevolent coming in third. Close fourth though. We had Merrick in that with only 3 players, but pulling out a fourth with some nice kills there. So yeah, not too bad played by them.
Yeah, well played indeed. It's always good to see that a top team does perform well, because they sometimes are a bit annoyed that they can't do well in such small amounts of games. But when they do well and consistently well with 4 players still alive, you do really see how their skill compared to some other players. But indeed, it was well played by the second place team. I was a bit surprised to see that those last two didn't, the last player that was alive before reviving his teammate didn't try to finish off any of Avoid the Zoid's teammates before going for the revive, but unfortunately it just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, laying down a little bit of cover fire, but a little bit too late, I think, there. Hopefully, we had a few technical difficulties with the first game. A couple players actually stuck out of the plane for that first game. So hopefully that's all organised now, which I'm pretty sure it will be, as we're about to see this plane's trajectory over this island and find out where they're going this day.
Yeah, we saw a southeast to northwest circle plane, last time. It would be interesting to see what we get this time. It looks like to be coming from the north, down across Severny and Stauber towards Primorsk. So really, a lot of the map is opened up. Probably Milter Power might be a bit of a stretch to get to, but really, besides that, everything else will be open to them. Didn't see much of Nutshot last game. We had a look at him earlier on in the game, but he must have fallen before we got a good look at him in the late game. So it might be a time for him to pull out that strat again, as lots of those players are jumping towards Severny, and in the Yasnaya direction. We'll also see a fair bit of action over at South George and possibly towards Milter and Primorsk.
Yeah, you can see up the top there, just going over the shooting range right now. Nutshot heading for his Zaki spawn. Does seem to be a few other guys going that way with him, though, so he might end up finding himself with a bit of company.
Yeah, it looks like we've got maybe only one team jumping late for Prim. That will be Electric's team, and we've got maybe 2 or 3 heading towards Military. So not too many teams holding out for the late plane area, but really a lot of them jumping in the middle heading towards Milter. So that will be a high contested location, obviously, going for them for that far reaches of the map.
Yeah, you can see Les from Avoid the Zoid here. The Avoid the Zoid's opted for that early jump out, as he's going to probably contest Nut for one of these vehicles along this this coastline here, and maybe Avoid the Zoid's probably picked up on this strat and thought, you know what, we're going to get rid of Nutshot. We're going to secure a kill. He's going to be going Zaki. You can see Nutshot just scrimmaging through this building right now, trying to find a weapon, as he does have Les just to his south there. So we'll wait and see if they end up pushing on Nutshot and shutting his strat down, because I think they're going to be quite aware that he is over here and that he's going to be heading towards Zaki. As you can see, V1, I think, has grabbed a boat north of Severny there, heading out to the ocean. So maybe Avoid the Zoid picking up Zaki here as his circle comes down to south of Rozok. On board with Extreme 2G now, putting in some work with that AK early on.
Yeah, knocking out Terabad. Nice few kills there. Peekin, though, knocking out Rabs with a vehicle, and now he's taken out V-Raz as well. So really, just got that vehicle and doing well indeed, while getting that suppressive fire with the AK down. But it looks like Peekin now has been dropped by Invisible Scars, with DJ Arnie knocked out as well behind a Dacia. So unless his teammate can get in quickly to help him, it looks to be too little too late.
Yeah, Arnie might actually bleed out behind this Dacia right now. As we do go on board with the Visible Scars, he might try and make a push, or he might just let his teammate die and cop one for the team.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here if he does go for the wrist. There isn't much cover out there. There is a Dacia, and doesn't look like he has too many meds. Chucking a painkiller back now. That will take its time to heal him up, though. He has a teammate coming in from the south, though, with the assist, and it might be time that Extreme 2D does just back off with that AK in hand.
Yeah, you can see Snapshot now has picked up a Dacia, just moving over to that compound to back up his teammate there with Extreme 2G. Just probably watching that angle and in a decent spot in the circle.
Looks like No Name, though, now looks to have taken a shot at someone, and they have dropped. So well played by him. Finishes off Bacon with the M4. Nice pickup for him. Looks to be the only 2 guys at that compound there. So it's a good 1v1 win for him.
Yeah, I'm no name there, picking up a nice little kill. Always finish your bacon, eh? Don't leave any on the plate, guys.
Archer there just sending in a little message from the tech board. But as we jump on board now, take a look over at Milter here as Godless and Plutonium are heading off towards Milter Power. Unlooted at the moment, but they look to be chasing some low health here. So just getting out of Milter, obviously, didn't find too much luck there.
Yeah, Godless on's really low health right now. Fingers crossed he doesn't want to roll this UAS because he would put himself in a bad position. Or he doesn't want to get shot at. But you can see these guys definitely pushing out there towards Milter Power, trying to find some loot.
Yeah, he will probably just ditch at substation or perhaps just go away. It looks like he has, just with his teammates wanting to stick together. Oh no, he might be pulling over a substation now. They're just trying to figure out what's best here. They're not too sure if there's anyone else around, but they will just continue on, and those UAs is not going to get into too much trouble until they find some guns and meds. So we look at the map now. It is a military and Pachinki circle, so that really is a central circle. There is possibilities that it could end in the military direction, but most likely we'll see it over that river area and just south of Pachinki, I'd say, or possibly a Milter finish. We see that those 2 teams now over at Primorsk are taking a bit of fire, but we zoom in on Roz just to see what's going on over there. There is an airdrop landing. Might have to check that out later as we just take a look around at the map. We've got a few teams over at Yasnaya. We've also got 2 teams on South George with only 1 to the north. Looks like we've got Nutshot and Les both contesting Zaki here at the start of the game, and as well as another team member, V now. So they've obviously seen what Nutshot's doing, and they're trying to throw a fork in this works of it.
Yeah, spanner in the works right here by Avoid the Zoid. They know that he's up there, so yeah, Nutshot just holding this ridge and they're not letting him in. They're not letting him in the town. He holds an umpy there that he might have found along the coast. But yeah, Avoid the Zoid really shutting down Nutshot. Good play there by Avoid the Zoid. I did want to see someone go up there and contest Zaki with him. So yeah, definitely a nice play there by Avoid the Zoid to shut down Zaki from Nutshot. And he's kind of left out to dry there on that hill with an umpy. As we go on board with Happy Novites there, getting Snapshot, finding him with a UMP. And wrapping around here might clean up Extreme 2G if they get a bit aggressive. 2G getting taken down as well right there. Happy Novites clearing out both those guys and probably going to go in here now and secure these kills.
Yeah, hasn't got too much help, so they have to be careful, but very well played with the iron sights on the UMP. Is one of the best iron sights in the game, but still well done at a distance as VFox flew in through that with their UAS. But actually, I did notice that Zoid is actually contesting Champs, one of his Nutshot's teammates, just to the north of Roshok, I believe. As, they aren't on the same team, but they are just in the same vicinity here, trying to run around and 1v1.
Yeah, Zoid obviously knowing that Champs is over in that compound and just trying to hold him out.
Looks like Nutshot, though, just dropped Les. So well played by him. They're taking the 1v2 to a 1v1 now. A bit of mispositioning there by Les and gets caught out.
Yeah, Nutshot finding a nice kill there on Les. Les not going to be too happy about that. Avoid the Zoid going for a risky play here, and Nutshot turning it around to a 1v1. V1 still in town. So this is going to be an interesting play here. You might see Zoid push back over towards Zaki to help out V1. He does have that boat. I'm not too sure if he's beached it. Now you can see it there to the coast, so he could still use it. Nutshot opting to get into that buggy, and I think he may go push up with Champs into that compound. I think that's something we're going to see as Zoid's still stuck in there between 2 of Nutshot's teammates. So Avoid the Zoid find themselves in not the best of position right now. As we look at this crate, Kar98K, Adrenaline Syringe, and a level 3 helmet. So not the worst of crates, but yeah, not the best.
It's in an interesting position there, just in that little island in between Roshok and Georgia Pole, so it's unlikely that any teams will spot that unless they're traveling through that area. But it looks like now that Champs has bailed from that compound, they're heading towards Edge and just goes straight past Zoid. Zoid with the SKS in hand, not getting any shots off.
Yeah, Zoid, I think maybe playing a little bit passive now. He doesn't probably want to give away his position.
Yeah, just playing safe here at the moment. Placement is always key. As we continue on, that circle is now approaching the mainland here as it continues to move in. It is a central circle, so no players will have to move that far to get inside, except for V, of course, as we continue to move in here now. The Georgia Pole guys, not much action has resulted up there so far, but we will see that as they start to move in. But Zoid now just passively playing behind a tree. I'm not sure. He's probably tabbed out, watching some YouTube, having some dinner, not too keen to continue moving around.
Yeah, Zoid, mate, playing very passive right now, just hiding in the shadows. Yeah, that kill on Les is that's going to turn the tides a bit for Avoid the Zoid there. So Zoid with his SKS in hand, it is one of his favorite guns. So he can put in some work, and as we know, he's one of those top tier players. He can hold his own. But yeah, he's probably going to wait for V1 and that to come back out of Zaki before he decides to push south.
Yeah, it's you don't see this happen very much for one of the best players in OCE, just passively playing it up in the hills with no loot around. But he's playing to the hand he's been dealt, with Les dropping down early, unfortunately. So we'll have to see what happens here as the zone continues to move in. When he does have to make that journey across, he may well run into that shipment or that crate, sorry, unless Undercover Fob runs into it first, and we may see something happen here soon.
Yeah, as we look at Gandalf might have an angle on him here. He's gone back inside the building, get a bit more loot. Does have that Car 98 on his back, so, you know, he can spot Zoid if he does find him.
Yeah, looks like Undercover now will have that Tier 3 helmet and Car 98 himself, as well as an Adrenaline Syringe. So as you said, it's not the best of crates, but it's not the worst of crates at least, so he'll most likely be happy to find that. That will be a pretty incredible shot if he does hit Zoid with the Car 98 from there, but when he does have to move in, he may well fall into a trap.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if these guys hold that angle there. And Zoid obviously not making too much noise, so he hasn't given away position. He's probably just playing, like I said, playing passive. He's getting a pickup now from V1 by the looks of it, and these guys are going to move out and move into a bit of better position in the circle. Maybe get a few more kills racked up, which would be nice.
Looks like V there handing over the steering wheel to Zoid. Doesn't want to be the result of any more Darcier explosions tonight as we continue on with this game. 72 players alive, so as always with CGL, we've got plenty of players still alive as this final zone does close in. Looks like Nutshot, though, even with that 2v1 up at Zaki, has stayed there. So he's surmounted the difficulties earlier on. Looks like we've got some people at Spawn Island, too. That must have been a few more technical difficulties, unfortunately, for whoever's up there. But unfortunately for them, we'll have to continue on with Game 2 here, as a red zone now has spawned over Pachinki. Not too many players are inside that area, so it won't be too difficult for them to get out of as we continue on.
Yeah, Nutshot being able to claim Zaki there with that kill on Les. We go on board with Death Smoke Kill You here. Trying to scope out Resolves opposite him. Resolves unfortunately not making that last game, getting stuck outside the plane, and unfortunately not being able to do anything last game. As you see Zeke here, trying to finish off Untamed on the staircase, and does so. Headlow trying to move in. I'm not too sure if he's aware of where Zeke is right now, but yeah, he's got that nade ready. He's going to probably get him off on the balcony, try and put a nade through that hole in the wall.
Yeah, he does have a good idea where he is. Obviously, with that finish off, you're on the stairwell. There can't be too many areas he could have been. But I'm sure that Zeke's just going to keep holding that angle. He can't get shot too easily from up there. But as I say that, Sardu gets a nice shot off through the window, I believe. And now Resolves here on the other side, just trying to cover fire as we jump on board with Champs here, running through the red zone on his bike.
Yeah, Champs just going for a Sunday ride, trying to get a bit more loot, bit better position. But yeah, Sardu finishing off that nice shot there on Zeke, and Headlow getting the final blow there. So him pushing in and finishing it off for his team.
Yeah, well played by him. Resolves here. It's an interesting choice he's going to have to do here. UAS now pulling up, completely other different team. They'll be out of there. Quick smart as Resolves now takes the opportunity to spray down that other team that is across the way, but he Deaths Won't Kill You does get knocked out by Sardude, so unfortunate for him there as Resolves continues to move in.
Yeah, Resolve's making the most of a bad situation there. These guys definitely pushing out and probably not knowing Resolves was over there.
That was a team kill. Sorry, I just realised Deaths Won't Kill You and Sardu are on the same team, so a bit of team killing going on there as Resolves now dropping Deaths. Just wanted to point that out. Thought that was a bit funny.
Yeah, okay. No, I didn't notice that in the kill. Like, I thought Resolves actually hit that shot on Defs, but he does hit and shot now, for matter of fact. So Def's going to get rezzed up here, and maybe giving Resolves an opportunity to actually get out of the compound that he's in, but he might be happy to stay there for now. He does have his two other teammates elsewhere on the map. They look to be down Navi and that moving across the western bridge now. So more than likely going to be coming up onto this compound and back up Resolves as this fight continues.
Yeah, Resolves doesn't look to want to back off anytime soon, hoping to probably avenge his teammates, but got a nice knockout there, but they have healed up, so he won't be too lucky at the moment to do that. Looks like a red zone has spawned here now with a minute 40 until that new zone does move in. It looks to be a pretty basic circle here, just to the south side of the main island. So as we continue to watch this action unfold with Resolves, probably unlikely anything will happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I think Resolves is pretty much just going to camp this out, wait for his teammates to bring in a bit of support. They may opt to go on that southern hill, but we'll wait and see what happens there. As I'm pretty sure Nutshot's still all the way up in Zaki. Now that he's been able to get those, you can see there, yep, Nutshot's still up there at Zaki, playing his strat out. It didn't work for him first game, but we'll see how it plays out in this second one. As Resolve's team goes to secure what it looks like to be another compound here, leaving Resolves in that compound by himself in a sticky situation. Texter now moving up, so...
Yeah, Fat Texter just moving in now. Looks like he has a teammate already over there, Resolves, obviously. So he might be going in for the flank here. This will be interesting to see. It was a long time coming, that team support, but it eventually does. And if they do get a nice pick off through a window, so we'll see a quick rush in, most likely from Resolves.
Yeah, if they can find a nice down here, yeah, Resolves will definitely push through that and probably go for a real aggressive play. So yeah, these guys surrounding the compound.
It looks to be taking a few shots here with the SKS in hand, trying to spot out Sardud there, but doesn't look to have landed any just yet. The Sardud's just staying inside near that door. Wins one, but he will be able to heal up quickly. He's disabling that dice here, but does take some shots here from Headlow in the other building. Well played by him with the SKS. Fat Texter's teammates have actually moved into the compound now, so he might be unlucky and will fall. Navi now jumping back in that buggy and may well retreat back to Fat Texter's position as Resolves is now left here to continue that hold in that building.
Yeah, they're not working out too well for him right there. Policeman getting what looks to be a triple nade there, or is it triple nade? Wow, that's a great nade there by Policeman. Not too sure where that went down on the map, but yeah, having a triple nade there. Go on board to where it's happened. It's up in this compound to the coast.
Looks like he did get punished for it there with the micro Uzi in hand. A nice trip nade, got a finish off and 2 knocks, but he now has been suppressed down, and looks like his teammate is a bit off to the east here, so he might not be too lucky here and will get finished off, unfortunately.
Yeah, Policeman going for that really aggressive push, but that beautiful nade, but yeah, paying the ultimate sacrifice right there.
Looks like they're all pretty low here, so not wanting to push down too soon. Looks like Resolves now has dropped. Defs won't kill you with the AKM again here with that flank going on. We've got Fat Texter and Navi back up on the hill here, not wanting to leave each other alone, but Defs did swap to another building and did get punished for it. Looks like Elmbot now got knocked out in the red zone though as well, so unlucky for wherever that happened. You never want to see that happen in a CGL or any game for that matter as they continue on.
Yeah, the red zone never kills anybody as we go on here board with Policeman copying what looks to be like a Molotov. I don't know whether that was his or undercover fobs from up there, but he's still alive. Maybe waiting for his teammate to push in. And here we go. Arnie getting the res. And Gary's going to probably jump that window. I don't know if he knows that he's actually resing his teammate. So Policeman getting lucky here. Gandalf right at that door too. So not wanting to push it, they could have seized a really nice opportunity there, but playing very passive, and Policeman getting back up, so giving himself a time to med, and yeah, that may be costly for them.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a door-faced palm moment there. It's surprising that Big Gandalf didn't either hear that coming or even third-person peek that. He needs to rush now, and with Policeman on low health, doesn't even finish him. This is really quite a misplay for him. Does eventually get him with the scar, but that was a bit embarrassing for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, Policeman going down again, and is this history repeating itself? No, you can see there that AK-47 going for the Gary, going for the push. He's going to get another shot in the back of the head here if he's not lucky. He flanks around, snaps 180, gets Gandalf down. He's going to push in the building. He's going to policeman going to get finished off there. Mozart what is going on outside my building? Arnie just trying to cover both angles there. Retreating by the looks of it. Trying to get a bit of a better eye on this. So yeah.
Yeah, it looked like AK Gary kind of butchered that window jump there, as now we see Undercover Fob move in and finish off DJ. But you never want to jump out a window on the wrong side of a wall there, spraying most of his bullets into it. But it looks like they finally got the job done. That was a bit of a stretch, but they got it working.
Yeah, in the end, they're finally cleaning it up. It only took them a couple goes, so...
Looks like there's a bit of action going on around Bouncy Butts and Tintin at the moment, though. He has a teammate down. One's moving into revive. He looks like he's finishing off Chillville here, as Bouncy Butts is a bit too far away to help him out with Toby already down.
Yeah, Tintin here putting in a bit of work, landing some nice shots there. So, yeah, Xfair killing Bouncy with the Scar L.
Yeah, it looks like Xfair just stopped the revive there to finish off, and now they're free to loot up. So, well played by them there. Unsure if they lost a teammate in that, but it didn't look like it was too bad.
Yeah, they're holding a nice little ridge. You can see off in the distance, a bit of a care package falling down there. Circle getting a little bit smaller now, so kind of pushed around just outside of Pachinki. Quite open fields here. We've got quite a few teams left. Nutshot's made his way towards Gatka, so still holding himself outside that circle. We can see Case and stuff like that having a firefight here, trying to pop some shots on Godless, landing a couple before he gets cover. Godless quickly getting cover right there by the looks of it, but getting down and finished by Kaysen. Very nice shots there with the Scar L, or better known as the Guy Sebastian.
Yes, the Guy Sebastian again. But very well played by him to get the knock-in finish there as well. With his 4 teammates still alive, they'll obviously just be regrouping now and waiting for the rest of his teammates to make a move.
Yeah, this compound for them seems to be nice, Kaysen, getting a nice angle on these guys as they do push down the hill. And they're going to be pushing into some direct fire. Kaysen on fire, hitting Plutonium there. Going to probably go for the finish. You can see his teammate there. Senzu is going to get caught out. He's going to try and hold that cover, but he doesn't really have anywhere to run. He's pretty much out in the street with his pants down right now, and has no idea where the hell to go. He's ducking and weaving like a champion, though, missing a few shots, Kaysen there. And finally, Semantic goes, you know what? Fuck you. You're dead. I'm sick of this. We're wasting ammo, and see you later. And cops an SKS to the forehead. So, yeah, Sentu's team getting taken out there, down off that ledge. Some nice shots by Kaysen and Semantic right there.
Yeah, well played by him. It took a few bullets, but Semantic did finish it off with the SKS, so well played by him. Looks like Resolves now has finished off Sardude, so this 1v3 has turned pretty sour for the guy on the other end, as Headload now healing up in the other building, and Harvey and Fat Texter just nearby for support.
Yeah, this fight has definitely taken a turn for the worse for Headload. Left by himself, left with his pair of Adidas on his feet, and yeah, not really anywhere to run with them.
Yeah, it's not gone too well here. Looks like there's another team to the north, though, and they have sussed out what's going on, I'm sure, hearing all these shots going off. Headlow just lean peeking that doorway here as the zone completes itself. We'll have to take a look at where that next one spawns, because it will be crucial to the finishing of it. If it's a Pachinki finish, it will be pretty crowded, but if it's off to the south, it will be pretty opened up. So here we go. It's a very nice and open circle. Only 2 or 3 compounds inside it. So those teams are holding them all already. So not much room for the guys that have to move in already. They will be camping outside some trees unless they decide to breach a compound themselves.
Yeah, a couple of nice ledges up here to the north of where Animal Alpha is currently sitting along that high ground. But yeah, as you said, all these compounds seem to be taken. So as everyone seems to move in, we're going to see a bit of confrontation. This Uncry has been down and out, just there to hide behind a tree right now. As Electric, I think, and Outlier are just scoping it out. Animal Alpha keeping high ground cover.
Yeah, well played by them. It looks like Electric's going to have to probably go on for the revive. He has 2 teammates down very close, but as I said, those other teams that were outside the zone are now rushing in, and they are taking their chances trying to secure that hard cover when they possibly can. So Somatic, though, his team holding down well, probably has the least wanted compound, to put it that way. Out of the 3, it is a bit opened out with only a few fences and yellow buildings to cover for them, so they won't have too many teams going for them. As I say that, there is a team rushing in from the north in a vehicle. This will be suppressed upon.
So they will be coming in fast in that Dacia. One does get knocked out now as Hawkins continues to fly through, but looks to be a quick finish.
Yeah, Zapruder there and Somatic just hearing that come out the back. Kaysen actually getting downed, but yeah, that's a nice clean up there by those guys. They've been holding that compound, and Somatic doesn't want to find himself in that car for too long if someone spots him and does take a shot at it, because that thing is ready to blow.
Yeah, it is smoking a lot. It was surprising they didn't actually get it to blow up originally, but they did just finish him off and nicely didn't blow it up. Otherwise, they might have lost one of their teammates here. But as that zone does move in, Headlow get a move on Resolve, knows that full gun, just trying to keep him up there on that veranda, spraying through with that AK in hand. We'll have to reload quickly with that holo. But Headlow now for stuff, there's no place to go really. 5 seconds to go. Resolves will have to get a move on here, and if he goes low, he might take too much damage to the zone and fall himself here. Headlow jumping off the veranda here and kills Resolves.
Oh, wow. Headlow coming out on top there saying, you know what, Resolves, you didn't get to play the first game, and guess what? You're not playing any more of the second one. And God, landing a very nice shot on one of the better tacticians in this game. So yeah, that's a nice kill there from Headlow. Headlow's been making some pretty good ground lately. Last week and the week before, leading up to the finals, he was landing some really nice shots. As Bovborg runs into a bit of bob up. And Smiles there coming out of that cuckboy shack and saying, yep, this is my town, it's my part of the village, and I'm in here taking shit, and yeah, you're going to get shut off.
Yeah, plenty of players dropping now as that zone does complete itself. Under 40 players left alive here with about 10 or so dropping simultaneously. They're Fallen and his team have camped out in a little yellow building here in the middle of nowhere. So incredibly open, this building, with windows all around it, and the new zone has spawned. It looks to be in the center, if not to the northwest. So we'll have 1 or 2 compounds still inside it, and really Somatic's team here probably in prime position, but they are surrounded on hills on all sides, so if they don't hold it well, they could get breached.
Yeah, they're going to have to play that very smart. As we see Gary here, NZ Girl, still alive just down the hill with the M4 in hand. So Gary playing the high top of this circle, but a minute and a half to go. NZ Girl opting for the molly.
Nice Molotov there, just hit in front of the tree, so AK Gary will be able to hold behind it still. Does have a tier 1 helmet, NZ Girl, so won't be able to pick for too long. AK Gary, that AK in hand, will be able to 1-tap, if not 2-tap her, and pretty successfully if he does. But NZ Girl now trying to go for the run. She does try to jump behind the rock though, as they continue to run around, and it looks like AK Gary not living up to his name too well there. He didn't finish him off, so NZ Girl now spraying down, doing a bit better there with the M4 in hand, but Undercover Fob is also down to her southwest, and will have to move in to support his team.
Yeah, NZ Girl making that suicide run there, and she's going for it again. She's going to try and push circle, find cover, and then turn around on these guys. Nice play here. Very ballsy play by NZ Girl. But she's pushed herself in a really nice position, to be honest. But she is taking a few shots. Does seem to be from up the hill. I think Gary might have had a look. No, it seems to be Barney the dinosaur actually on top of that ridge right there, and has seen her move down and unfortunately get taken out.
Yeah, incredibly unlucky there. Well played by NZ Girl, but just gets caught out by a different team. You never feel too good when that happens to you. You're in a bit of a good situation, and you're going well, and then someone else just swoops in and wrecks it all for you. But now we're on with Fallen, and there is another team moving in from the south. He does peek outside the window and does drop VFox very nicely with the Scar-L. His teammates are a bit farther away, so he will get finished off, and Ballbags now finishes him off, sorry. And it looks like the rest of his team are just backing off. They don't want to get involved.
Yeah, they don't seem to want to take this fight. Yeah, Fallen hitting the balustrading right there, not enjoying the windows. Kind of be a bit annoying, but you can see he's pushed out there with the Umpy and cleans up the rest of the team there. So definitely a good play there by Fallen. But as he runs towards that as that circle's pushing in, they're going to have to get in this, and he's going to have to boogie pretty quickly. Carr this late in the game can work into his favor as he goes to the right. He might try and...
might go for the team kill there with the US, but luckily slows down quick enough to let all his teammates in as they continue on. There is a base up ahead, but that is Ballbags, obviously, so they will continue to move in. That next zone has spawned to the southwest, and it has got no compound, just half a hill. So as Fallen's teammates begin to drop, they've run into a bit of trouble here with only 24 players left alive. They are low. They'll have to lie down and try and med up. Zoid knocks Animal out for someone else on the map with a nice SKS headshot. So well played by him. It looks like they are to the north east of the zone. So they will have to move in. Only 2 players, Tintin and Kim, that are currently in it. It is just a hill. Xfear, though, rotating around to the west, might be able to come around the back and change some things up.
Yeah, hopefully, like, no buildings in this last circle, so this is going to make it quite interesting. Still 23 alive. Kaysen and stuff, that Somatic, these boys still holding this compound. They do know that Barney and those boys are still north up there. They would have heard those shots on NZ Girl, but doesn't want to come this side because he may get cleaned up from behind. So Kaysen's got to really watch his 6 right now. As you can see, V1 and I think it's... was it Zoid pushing up? Yeah, V1 and Zoid just at the bottom of that ridge. So these guys are playing it smart. Zoid just tanking it out from that early death from his teammate up at Zaki from Nutshot.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened to their third teammate as well. It might just be 2 of them left now, as they are going to have to move around. I would say they are pretty heavy favourites in this type of zone, but with only 2, possibly 3, I'm not sure, players on their team, that always does make it a bit of difficulty. M3 now jumping inside of Shaq, spraying down on Black Flare with that M16 in hand, putting some damage in, but wasn't able to finish anybody off. The zone is now about to move in here, as Merrick is holding those teams down to the north. He doesn't want to let anyone in. Looks like Avoid the Zoid have jumped in their vehicle and are driving straight into the clutches of Bullbags and his teammates. And looks to be taking some damage here as everyone starts to move in. No one's really inside the zone yet at the moment.
Yeah, Avoid the Zoid there, running straight in front of Ballbags, and I think taken out Avoid the Zoid right then. So Ballbags putting in some work. Lanny, unfortunately, dying outside the play zone. We're going to see a bit of a massacre here. Everyone running in, not much cover. Teams are coming in from pretty much every angle, so it's going to be interesting on who can find cover, who can hold their angles, who's got teammates there. I see 3 people dying outside the play zone right then. There's about 10 left. Dick dying outside the play zone as well. Merrick putting down some nice fire right then. Kaysen finally killing Black Flare, and yeah, this is an interesting situation we've got. In terms of circle, it's central for everyone, so everyone's got to kind of push on their angles, and yeah, Tintin and that, and they're holding the higher ground over here. Xfer sitting back with the Kar98. And this is going to be interesting as Ballbags goes for the flank, but Xfer knocking out Smiley across field there with that Kar98 in hand.
Yeah, well played by him. It would be good to just pull up a live player list here just to see who's still alive, how many teams we've got. But with Fallen dropping now, it looks to be a 3v2v3. So that is pretty evened out here. We've got Fallen and Ballbags' team still alive impressively after rushing in on such low health. We've got Kaysen and Merrick as well as Xfer's team. So Xfer's team obviously holding a lot of the kills here as he does drop another with Smiley Face going down. With only 7 alive here, Fallen is just passive inside his teammate here. Wasn't able to get that revive off as Kaysen starts running around behind them.
Yeah, Team Tahi, the former bakery boys, yeah, unfortunately getting shot there and not being able to get the res, but Fallen still holding it for them. So yeah, holding a nice little angle there. See what we can make of it. Ballbags is flanked around to the left, so these guys still holding a nice little flank. Everyone's going to be pushing in now as the circle comes in, so this will be interesting to see on who waits out. Merrick getting absolutely knocked out by Xfer there with the Kar98, and Kaysen there finishing off Fallen with the Scar L. Kim Jong-Nuke killing Fallen there, actually, sorry, as it's a 4 players left, and it looks to be a
3v1 here with Ballbags still sole one alive. This will be a pretty difficult situation for Ballbags to pull back with that Scar in hand. Xfer now rushing in with his teammates on the flank to the right. They know pretty much where Ballbags is now, and he's pretty low, and he does get dropped by Kim. So well played by them. Xfer picking up 6 kills with only 3 people on their team. Kim also getting 4, Tintin with the single. Ballbags' team did well themselves. Ballbags got 4 kills, Smiles with 3, Smiley with 2. So really incredibly well played by there. The positioning was good for Xfer, but they did get a bit fed with the zone, so lucky for them, and they pulled out a good victory.
Yeah, Conspiracy there coming out with the win with only 3 players too. Not something I think we've seen in the CGL yet, especially in these finals. 3 players there, getting 11 kills for the team, so decent kills, decent kill rating, and very well played by them, but they did get a favourable circle. Xfer hitting those shots when they mattered. So yeah, that was a very nice game by them.
Yeah, incredibly well played. Well, that was game 2 of tonight. Thank you so much for watching. We've got 1 more coming up, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final game of this evening, CGL Season 2 Finals. Game 6 tonight. Some interesting finishes there. We go to look over towards the leaderboards that we might have up on screen in a second, and it looks like Avoid the Zoid out in front, 285 points. Definitely, you can see the difference there. 9 more kills than second place, which is Lunatics. Lunatics dropping down to second. Total points there, 322. I was looking at placement points, 322 points right there. So that's a nice little lead there.
Yeah, it's well played and well deserved by Avoid the Zoid. Obviously, Xphere and his team, though, did come through with the first place in the final game, so that did boost him up in the ratings as well. But Avoid the Zoid currently holding a good lead with about 30 to 40 points.
Yeah, definitely holding a hefty lead against a few of these other teams. A couple of teams, like, for instance, like Marcel's Bakery, or now better known as Team Tahi, sitting in 6th. So, yeah, like Team Benevolent, a few of these are these under, I suppose, teams that we haven't seen up the top of the leaderboards lately, putting in some really nice work in these final games.
Yeah, it's well deserved by them, as we probably might get a look at this match history here as we see the placements of them. Avoid the Zoid with 2 firsts and 2 other games that they didn't really place that well in. So you can see consistency as a bit here and there. But Lunatics, though, on the other hand, is quite consistent with their first 3 games. They only came 14th in the first game tonight. So we'll hopefully see a bit of a turnaround here in the first game as the plane is about to set off across the map.
Yeah, avoid the Zoid picking up a 23rd there in the second game of the final season there. They ended up getting eliminated as the second team in that game. I don't think they were too happy about that one. As we see another central plane coming from south to north here. So we can see an early jump there down the south there by Spagball. So I can guarantee the TNS boys are going to be holding out Millbase again. So home away from home right there. A few people are opting to go for the long jump over to Primos. You can see Happy Novites and K2, NZ Girls. So the 3XC guys are going over to Prim, which is a nice little long jump there across the river. Nice sunrise in the background. So giving them something to look at on their voyage down towards Prim. As we've got a few teams seem to be going for the long jump to Georgia Ball too, which is definitely an option. Trying to keep an eye out here towards Zaki and see if I can see Nutshot. I don't currently see him up there, but he might be underneath everybody. His teammates seem to be going towards Yasnaya. I see Edge and stuff like that going towards Yasnaya, and Nutshot's over here as well. So this is a different play. This is a different play, Jungle. It's not something we see out of Nutshot. This is a spatter in the works for him. Maybe he didn't like avoid the Zoid going up to Zaki last game. Maybe they've scared him out of his strat, so he's going to be in Yasnaya, and it's going to be a different bit of play style for him now. So he's going to find himself in the heat of the battle a lot earlier than he's used to. So we'll see how Nutshot's aim goes as he's got a few teams around him up here in Yasnaya.
Yeah, he won't be used to this in CGL so far, but it would be amusing to see him drop early and revert to his old strats next week. But hopefully that isn't the case here, as we had a fairly central plane. So really all the areas of the map open up as the circle has just spawned. It will be a Gaka Prim finish as we see it now. It might be another quarry like the first game tonight, but really not many teams will struggle to get to that area. It's pretty accessible, and all the ones that are pretty far away will have access to vehicles.
Yeah, very accessible area right there. You can see 3XC making that long jump to Prim down the south there has definitely paid off for them. So those guys and Grill are going to be pretty happy about that circle placement right there. As we've got Policeman playing aggressive. He picked up an early AK, but Blood's up in this building with an M16. Champ's looking over the apartment with an M4. So Policeman might get caught out right here. I'm not too sure if he's going to know these guys have got ARs ready to go, but these are some nice buildings and definitely some nice loot out of here, as Nutshot seems to flank around the other side of this building. So,
yeah, we're on board with Policeman here now. He's getting a bit aggressive here with Nutshot, very close indeed with that pump shotgun, and he does get punished for it. Unfortunate there for one of our new moderators on PUBG OC. If you haven't yet congratulated him, you should do so. But really not the start he wanted for his third game tonight, as Nutshot swiftly dismisses him with a nice pump shot on that shotty.
Yeah, Nutshot showing that he can turn the tables and he can adapt to his surroundings.
Yeah, well played by them. As we continue to have another look at this map, lots of those players now moving into South Georgia Pole. Bit of controversy here on that compound just outside it here as we check out Pachinki, though. Mozart here has dropped Sadu. It's close by, and he might be able to finish him off.
Yeah, Mozart upstairs bleeding out. Sadu rushing this building now with his Vector in hand. And, going to come finish off what he started. So Cozzy actually killing I Love Spag there down in Millbase. So there's definitely a bit of fight going down towards there in the Millbase. These guys converge over the apartment blocks. Resolve's knocking out Elmbo. I'm not too sure where that was, but him rocking the SKS. But the TNS guys here just trying to play a little bit safe now. They've lost Spag, so they're only down to 3.
Yeah, Spag, another one of the new moderators on the team. It doesn't look to be too good for the mods. Might be a bit of a curse going around, but they have both been dropped now. And we just have a look at Cozzy, see what's going on. He looks to just be backing off from the apartments, not wanting to get into too much of a tangle of that 3v1.
Yeah, he's backed off. We see a care package dropping. I'm thinking this is the west side. We've actually got 2 of them there. So these might be, one seems to be over towards the ferry. The other one seems to be just on the northern side of this this military island. I'm not too sure if VFox and stuff like that are actually going to wait for this to drop. It looks like he may come back for it. So VFox running up for this crate. It'd be interesting to see what's inside these 2 crates as they do hit the ground early on. Something like a Groza or something like that might be nice, but with the circle placement that is over Prim, a long-range sniper rifle will come in handy.
Yeah, it looked like VFox and Back just split up then, and Back's going for the other one. VFox will find himself an M249 and an 8 times, so a bit of a mixed bag there. Be interesting to see what the other airdrop has as Back moves in with that boat. He might have found something a bit more juicy than that. It's an M24 is an all right pickup, but you know, a sniper rifle is always that much better. He looks to already picked it up, has a T3 helmet, not too sure if he already had that one. And we'll be able to spot anything on his back. It looks like it could be an MK14.
Yeah, that is an MK14. I think I can tell by the buttstock there on it. It does look like the MK14, which is the new sniper rifle in the game. So can lay down some pretty heavy fire there with that thing.
Yeah, so he returns now to VFox now. So that's a nice pickup for their team. 2 airdrops off the bat. We've got the heavy assault rifle or machine gun, more likely, and the sniper rifle as well. So it looks like as this game continues on, it looks like he has an M24 himself, an M249, sorry. So no sniper rifles.
Yeah, no, mistaken that there. I thought it was a, you couldn't see it clip through his level 3 backpack, or his turtle bag, as I like to call it. Something you want to get rid of if you're late game trying to crawl through a wheat field. That stands out like dog's balls. But yeah, both of them picking up M249. So that's a team you definitely do not want to drive a car next to. That would be a fucking massive mistake. You drive a car anywhere near those two guys, and you might as well hit the ejector seat and or just press F to pay respects.
Yeah, it's interesting. 2 machine guns to start the game. It's not really the location you want to be, but possibly if they get on the other side of that bridge, they might be able to take out some guys on military who are coming across. But as we continue on, we take a look at South Georgia Pole here. If that Texter, it's just near, just out the back of, no, not out the back of hospital, sorry. He's to the northeast of it. But all on his own with his teammates back at Crater here. He might be trying to push up on South George. Not too sure what's going on with a Zeke also on his team, completely separated from what's going on. So he might be able to do something here with those guys at South George, but probably not wanting to get too aggressive.
Yeah, those guys really splitting up. Zeke definitely a fair way away from the rest of his team. We look up at Yasnaya. There seems to be not a lot of fighting up there, but these guys trying to hold out their own. DJ Arnie seems to have taken some damage. We got Extra and stuff like that out. Lepovka, everyone seems to be just looting up. We've got Joski's, a bit of banter at school, a bit of schoolyard bullying right here, going down by Barney the dinosaur. I thought he was meant to be a friendly character, but yeah.
Not being too friendly at the moment as he just meds himself back up. And they've still got a few enemies over in the separated building here as Banana Man crawling around. I just want to get a bit of a revive. His Sticks over here. He's incredibly low. Hopefully has some medication so he can heal back up before these guys get into another fight. But it doesn't seem like anything's going to happen too soon here. Obviously, those teams don't want to be able to breach any of the others' buildings because it will be a bit of a nasty surprise for them. Looks like there's a red zone, not too popular an area, but that will be annoying VFox and them. Bit of karma for getting those airdrops themselves. The game's punishing them for it, being a bit too greedy. As Bouncy Bus now coming up on Cos.
Yeah, Bouncy here coming with the aggressive play here for TNS. Getting the hell out of there with his... He's actually opted to jump out with the UMP. He's going to take Cozzy on here. May find himself in a very situation.
Cozzy may well have popped a tire there. Can't quite see, but that spin out was a bit abrupt, and Bouncy Butts probably wasn't planning on spinning out too quickly there. Might have popped that rear left here as it continues to roll down the hill back towards Bouncy as he equips the Scar, and hoping to probably met up a bit before continuing to peak.
Yeah, Bouncy landing a few shots here, but yeah, he's going to get probably taken out here if the rest of TNS can come up over that hill and help Bouncy out. Cozzy's going to find himself in a pretty bad situation here because he's not going to be covered. If Chill can get over this hill quickly, he's going to get a really nice shot on him. As you can see, Chill moving over there. He doesn't have an M4. These guys are hightailing it. Him and Toby is getting over as quick as they can, and Cozzy is in a really bad spot right now as he seems to retreat into this building, trying to find himself a bit of cover. And yeah, the TNS guys keeping Bouncy alive. Don't know if Cozzy knows they're coming over the hill, but yeah, Bouncy seemed to be able to take his take the fight to him and allow his team to kind of push in.
Yeah, it looks like Cozzy knows he's outstayed his welcome here a bit. Took a bit too long to finish off Bouncy there, and knows his team's probably not too far away because it is Military Island, so just backing off to those buildings. That buggy's just continuing to roll up and down the slopes here. That rear tire did get popped, so yeah, Bouncy Butts probably wasn't planning on spinning out that abruptly, but he is just third person peeking that tree at the moment with that buggy. Can't be distracting at all, I'm sure.
Yeah, nice bit of moving cover there from the developers. We can see that that buggy just playing a nice pendulum motion there in the field, and Bouncy opting to move towards the north of the island. He's got his teammates to the right-hand hills, so he's got cover. These guys are going to just be checking that so you can make sure Cozzy doesn't have any room to move. So they're going to probably secure that, probably start making a push. Cozzy's going to have to wait it out, and yeah, can't play too aggressive here, because he's going to have to either try and find a vehicle or really flank right around to the left, and it seems that he's going to the left there. He might be trying to scope out a vehicle to get in front of these guys, but yeah, TNS are going to be right in front of him with circle in play too, so they're not going to be too worried. They're more than likely going to know that Cozzy's there. Cozzy's either going to have to swim for it, get a boat, or try and beeline it across that bridge, which would be the worst of the three. But the TNS guys are probably going to lock down that bridge, maybe push across the other side, and hope to find some of these other teams coming through from like Pashinki and School as they try to flank maybe towards the coast.
Yeah, it looked like V1 actually was trying out the nutshot strat there. Didn't stick around too long, probably didn't find enough meds that he was happy with, so he's retreated back towards North George, but he may well have headed up there to try and suss out if nutshot was going for it again, but this time, as we saw earlier on, he decided to go towards Yaz, so hopefully that worked out for them, as plenty of cars now moving in from the east. It's incredible how many vehicles are on the go. Senzu, though, knocked out. Algrant's just moving in here to finish him off with the P1, so that's a bit embarrassing for him, but well played by Algrant.
Yeah, Orgren using that P11 right there. That's not a weapon you see this late into the game. As we're on board with Zeke here, trying to finish off Sticks and Stones. Sticks and Stones are getting lucky there, and Zeke hitting that metal railing or the bars on his window. This isn't this is the hood of the island, so a bit ghettoed up. But yeah, missing the shots, and lucky for Sticks and Stones, surviving and getting a bit of cover behind that rock.
Looks like Zeke might be in a bit of trouble here, though, as Rabs and Invis just pull up here just inside the zone. Veros and Algren also are coming in from the west just to try and come in to help. But it will be a bit of a tricky situation here for Zeke. He might be able to get out and get back to his teammates, but as we saw earlier, he is incredibly separated for them as they are over near the mountain. So this is going to be a bit of a solo game for him.
Yeah, you can see that next circle pushing up 3XE. They've been basically holding Primos this entire game so far. They had a nice long jump there. And Dick seems to be knocked out by falling. I suppose that's what happens when you fall on your dick. It definitely hurts, and it's going to knock you out. So it's not something you want to do every day if you plan on having kids. But yeah, it may have been that bike. The caddies, yep, they can be killers. And Joe's guys is just crawling around there, crawling it out. It's probably screaming to the gods.
I can't even talk. Okay, then. As we take another look at the map here, that next zone has spawned. It looks to be a bit of a Gatka South George finish here. The red zone has spawned right in the middle of it. Won't be too pleased with that M3 and next types teams as V1 continues to move in. Has got well out of Georgia Pole, now moving well inside the zone. As we take on board with next type here, V1 will be joining them very shortly here. They're all just camped out inside this little compound here inside the red, and we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, they seem to have a bit of a fucking tea party in this building right now. They're probably trading strats, just having a look at each other, making sure everyone's wearing the appropriate clothing for the weather climate. Wondering why Next Type's got the blue Adidas and V1's running around shoeless like a bogan. But yeah, well, it's Wednesday, so, you know, the Centrelink money's come in. He can make his way down to Woolies and get himself some pluggers. But they're going to make their way out of that building. We're going here with Lanny. Lanny with the M4. He's landed some shots on Somatic right here. That UAS sitting right in the middle of that field. Zapruder, I think, is down behind it with the M16 right there. So Lanny just covering this nice little hill just to the east of, I think it's Gatka. Yeah, just to the east of Gatka. So, yeah, this is a nice little ridge for these guys here. They got some open field. There's going to be quite a few teams pushing down through this wheat field, and these guys might try and finish off as many as they can.
Yeah, well played, Power. They got Zapruder as well, so good teamwork there, just finishing them off together. They blew up that UAS for good measure here. It looks like, though, now that V1 has knocked out Sardude, someone must have rocked up on their compound or driven past it, and not too good there as Sardude gets finished off by Zoid, mate. So, unfortunate there, on his own, out in the middle of nowhere, and gets punished.
Yeah, avoid the Zoid now. Grouping back up, holding a very nice building right now. So you can see the 3XC guys, and Grill moving up the coast there, trying to find one of these buildings a little bit inland towards the swamp side. Pekin and stuff like that seem to be holding a nice little ridge up there, up the top of the swamp. So interesting to see these guys move up the coast as we go towards this Georgia Pool crate. And what do we have? I wonder what is in this. Have these guys spotted this or not? I'm not too sure.
Likely that Dejani has already looted it because he has that Grozer equipped, so he must have swung past and picked it up beforehand, and now looks to have a tier 3 helmet and Grozer for his troubles.
Yeah, definitely picking up that Grozer out of that crate. That's definitely a nice pickup. Not going to be the best thing, but he's taking shots here across. He's that car driving up the road, and I'm not too sure if he landed any shots there. Listral just over the ridge in that vehicle. 2 vehicles making a move. I wonder if anyone's going to push him. He is just holding this roof, and he's playing pretty aggressive. But he's got right edge of circle too, so he's probably just trying to hold this compound out and by himself. So hat goes off to him. DJ Arnie holding an entire compound here by himself, making it feel like there's probably a whole squad there just raining bullets.
Yeah, it looks like his teammates are rocking up now. So I think he took a few shots at them when they were coming across the bridge, just to tell him whose building it was beforehand. But he now sees that there was players over across the river, I'm sure, as Rabs and Inviscar saw. So he will be mindful of that as they jump in a vehicle and start to come across with that zone moving in on the slow side. Looks like Extrude, though, got a nice knockout on Les, though, with the AKM. Nice headshot by him. Avoid the Zoid getting pushed on here. It was a good shot to get off there. And they're just compounds, though, so really it's not like too much is going to happen here. They will get the revive off on Les pretty easily, I'm sure, and they will continue to hold.
Yeah, they're just going to hunker down in this building right now. It is quite open, but I think Avoid the Zoid sitting in a pretty nice position. VFox and Extrude also holding very, very nice building right there too. So these Gatka buildings are going to play off. Wait and see what this next circle does, but they do have quite a nice angle on everyone around them. They are very centrally localized.
Yeah, in the meantime, Extreme 2G looked to have got a nice kill off on Animal Alpha. So unfortunate for Animal there, but Extreme 2G doing well to get such a long-range kill, a couple of 100 meters there, and Yasu couldn't do anything about it. Looks like we have a look at this zone, though, as it is just about to complete itself. There's a few guys over at Pachinki who continue to move in. They may well come across a Zeke, who is still separated from his team over here. And if he does hold it just outside the zone here, he might be able to spring a surprise, because I'm sure those guys over there will not be expecting someone to be holding a compound that's still outside the zone. As they continue to move in, might be just out of the side of the line of sight here. Is Electric got a nice knockout there on Predge, I believe. But it looks like a Zeke might be able to get a bit of a scope on one of these players as they run through. Sticks and Stones, not too lucky with that Vector equipped. Verelos is a bit too far away to help out, and Auburn still back off inside the zone. So he finishes off Sticks nicely.
Yeah, Zeke there with the M16 and a suppressor there. So those guys may not know exactly where those shots were coming from. As he backs out, he picks up a kill, gets a nice little kill rating there for himself, and he makes his way into the zone. As we see the next circle pulling straight into that Gatka wheat field. So it's going to be quite an open fight for this third and final game of the of the evening, should I say. Yeah, it's going to be very open and interesting to see as these teams push in. There's probably going to be not too many compounds left in these last few circles.
Yeah, it looks like Predge and his team were considering pushing up on these guys, but they have now just backed off a bit back to the trees, not going to get too aggressive from the one angle. Alistral and Luke Ultra are pretty difficult to surmount, and their team is pretty strong, so you don't want to push them if you can. But Power AU going for an aggressive flank, running across the road, that was pretty risky, but if he doesn't run into Luke Ultra here by surprise, he may well pay off for him. It doesn't look like he knows Luke Ultra is running across the street and will get jumped on here and gets punished. I don't see how Power AU will get out of this one and looks to get finished off now.
Yeah, Power missing a free kill there on Alistral. Scoped it out and just, missed it. Yeah, that was a 40-meter car shot with a 4 times, so I don't know how he missed that shot. And unfortunately for Power AU, he's not one of those players that usually misses those kind of shots, but he just waited that little bit too long, playing too aggressive, and yeah, it cost him his life.
Interesting airdrop from the game. It's just decided to drop one in the middle of nowhere. I don't think anyone's up at hospital at the moment. Everyone, as you can see, looks to be on the south side of the circle as we jump on board with Xfear, putting some shots into Rabs, finishing him off. Invis Scars just out the back of that tree with his nades in hand. Probably would like to be able to met himself up instead, but as Xfear holds that tree down, he doesn't have much to move on.
Yeah, Xfear playing really nice there with the Scar and Suppressor, just holding that ridge, pushed out of the buildings from his team. Got a nice little jump there, but he might get might play a little bit too aggressive. He's trying to finish off Scars. He does down him with the SKS, and he's going to try and finish it off. No teammates for him in sight. So Invisible Scars is left sitting over there near that tree, ready to bleed out by the looks of it.
As we jump on board with NZ Snapshot here in his team, they're holding at that double building compound just off the side of Gatka, as a lot of teams are around them in swamps and such, so they have too much of trouble. Nothing's moving on them yet. Godless is the closest player, but I doubt he's going to move on them, so they will be able to hold this out for the time being.
Yeah, Circle pushing in there. You can see a lot of these southern teams making a nice little push up. Quite a few buildings still left. Snapshot knocking out Smiles there with the Scar L. So, yeah, he landed a nice shot there with the Scar across the field and looks to finish off the rest of his team, but maybe Smiles getting a bit of cover up there. There's a nice little wheat field up there. There's some good defilades, a few good places to hide. But like I said, this is going to be a very open fight in the middle of these hayfields if this circle does close in on it.
Yeah, it looks like the majority of the players are all opting to go to the south side of the circle, which is strange. Not too many are on the north. There is a team up on top of the hill which are holding it out without any trouble. No one's nearby. These guys out here underneath the water tower, though, all low, smoking it out, trying to heal up. But it looks like Avoid the Zoid are getting into a bit of trouble here, trying to take some kills. I shouldn't say trouble. They're dismissed it easily with a nice double tap by Next Type. We're on board with Cozzy, then now with the buggy, rocking up to an empty compound. Nice for him.
Yeah, Cozzy finding himself in a nice little compound there, just outside Gatka. So very centralized, and I'm actually surprised no one's actually taken that building. Like he found himself in a very nice situation there. No one to the north near hospital either. The next compound up from him on the road is a very thought after compound up the road with a nice little view over that wheat field to the south. So interesting to see that nobody's actually opted for that. We may see a push up there now as XPL trying to lay down some fire with that M16 and the red dot across the wheat field. But we're going to see a push from some teams. These guys have got short side by the looks of the circle, so not too worrying for them. The edge of their compound is pretty close to the circle, so they'll probably just move in with the edge, probably clear their 6. But they do have a literal, and these guys still up on the mountain. These guys, Hackeye and stuff, and I think is that. Yeah, Hackeye, Plutonium sitting up there. These guys, Hackeye with an umpy, so not the best position to be with an SMG. You'd more than rather like a nice sniper rifle sitting up on that hill, but those guys seem to be kind of maybe under-geared and just waiting it out.
Yeah, they are up on top of that hill. Don't have too much confrontation at the moment with that next circle still being inside it, as we're now taking a look at Chillville just driving around with their Dace, trying to find a nice place to hold up. They obviously just went past Resolves and didn't want to stick around there too long. Resolves has waited 2 games for this round. He's done well. He's got a few kills already. We're zooming in here down to the south. There is a new airdrop coming in as Zeke looks to be preparing himself for it in the field. It is incredibly open. He has no cover. So if another player does seem to get their eye on him, it will be the end of him. There is another airdrop also to the north area. Kiwi might be going for that if it's not too far away, as Zeke maybe looks to have found himself a rock to hide behind, but he will have to run it into the open to get that airdrop.
Yeah, Nutshot, we're going back into Gatka here. He's got a massive firefight right now. Edge killing off someone just then. And, yeah, back just trying to hold a bit of an angle. Luke Ultra knocking out XPL. So XPL peaked, and Luke Ultra gets a nice little Kar 98 shot there.
Looks like Back has ditched his M249 for a shotgun. I'm not sure if he's given it to a teammate or he's decided a shotgun's just better. But interesting to see someone. It'd be funny if a player walked in on a building and found one of those machine guns lying on the ground, but looks to have not needed it in the end game here. As we have a look over here, it's incredibly busy to the southwest. Those players all trying to rush in through those fields. Lots of hay bales behind. Godless is low, spraying down with his UMP, but does get dropped there by D, and doesn't look like he's going to get any help here with his team well away.
Yeah, this is a very open field. I was hoping the circle might have pushed this direction, but it seems to have pushed over towards Gatka a little bit more. But as you can see, these guys are taking it out as the circle moves in. Blackflower and these boys from Creek Gaming having to push up on Gandalf, and those guys having a really nice edge right there. We see Merrick getting taken outside the play zone. Kaysen trying to make it into the car by the looks of it. I'm not too sure if he's going to push it, but these guys are fighting it out in the wheat field right now.
Look at Joe just crawling up. They're all knocked. I don't know where their teammate is. He's off in the field still, not inside the zone. I don't think they're going to find much luck here as Barney runs in and Big Gandalf and AK Gary finish him off. So unfortunate for there. Did get outplayed with the positioning, but they have got to avoid the Zoid not too far away. And Blackout and Lanny, 2 different teams sharing the same compound area. So Lanny's probably just camping out a doorway with his UMP in hand and not wanting to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, we see this next circle push straight over that North Gatka compound. A lot of gunfight going down to the north over the hill there. Razzie getting taken out. Smiles, ball bags, putting in some work.
Interesting to see here, Zeke is inside that compound, and I'm not too sure if he's made it back to his teammate. It looks like he has. I wasn't too sure if he was on the same team as those guys because he's been completely separated, and I thought he might have gone to that airdrop and then been pushed back into that compound without his teammate, but it looks like he's all right. I thought he might have been hiding out with someone else there for a moment.
Yeah, the guys from No Joke Esports holding a really nice ridge up there on the top of that mountain. They're going to have to obviously push down through a pretty hard compound that's going to be centralized for that final circle coming in. As we see these guys in Gatka extrude and just trying to keep a bit of cover. I don't know whether he's going to try and push for this, but I know Nutshot and Champs and Blood are all going to be covering this angle, so you can edge on the roof there. Nutshot trying to rotate and maybe finish off that kill and secure it. So it's going to be interesting here to see what Back and Extrude do, whether they plan to go get Novites. But it is a 4v2 right now in the middle of Gatka as that smoke gets thrown down. Maybe some suppressing fire to try and help Novites up. But you've seen Avoid the Zoid have opted to move out. They've decided to get in that car. They are holding what seems to be a nice little bridge here, but very open on their angles. This next type cops a shot from Blackout by the looks of it. They seem to be fighting almost everyone around them. These guys just proning it out. Avoid the Zoid, not in the best of positions right now, having a little bit of cover fire, but look at that. That shot there. Edge and the guys from Gatka getting an angle on who did a snapshot right there. So, yeah, wrong place, wrong time right there.
Yeah, it looks like Snapshot took out Extreme 2G there. So unfortunate for these guys, Blackout now stayed back at the compound and now has jumped in the Dacia to rush in late. This may well work out for him as he's going through the one zone. Doesn't look to be too many people. He might well find refuge at that airdrop out there as he knows that won't blow up on him, but this Dacia could.
Yeah, he's opted to go around the far side here, which is interesting, by Blackout. As we see, like the No Joke Esports guys have made their way down the hill. They got Plutonium on their 6th. They may be covering it, just like holding him out there in the blue zone, letting him die out. But some big gunfights going down here. Avoid the Zoid running into a bit of confrontation. Next time getting taken down. Zoid trying to cover that edge towards Gatka, and undercover Fob. Low health. You got the TNS guys just across the ridge from them too. So interesting to see what happens here with the TNS guys holding that nice little spot. But Shield getting some shots taken there. Bounty trying to go for the quick push with the Umpy, unloading and clearing their 6 right now. So TNS in a decent spot. Cozzy out to the left there, feeling the heat. And Blackout NZ has been taking some shots from, it looks like, Avoid the Zoid. So Cozzy coming in with that late push into the circles, 47 seconds down. To this next circle pushes in, and Resolves, Navi, and all these guys are just sitting in there. Lunatics playing a really, really nice game, getting a really good push, and very, very lucky with that circle placement.
Yeah, incredibly lucky there to have those 2 buildings still in the compound. All those players would have loved to be in there themselves, but those guys that are going to have to push in from the north are going to have quite a struggle trying to get inside the zone without being cleared out. So with all those teams mainly being over the north, Blackout might be able to clinch a 2nd or 3rd here if he hides out there on the rim of the south side. But Fallen now taking some shots at Luke Ultra and his team as they start to move down the hill. Fallen will have to consider moving himself with only 5 seconds to go before the zone starts moving. He will be in a bit of trouble. Looks to try and take an energy drink a bit late here, and he will be on the run with the zone right behind him.
Yeah, going for those late pushes this late in the circle, especially in a division like this where you've got the top teams from the OC. It's not a very strategic play. If you have enough cover, you can make it work. But we see Avoid the Zoid now moving in, yeah, like I said, Lunatics holding a really nice compound right now, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, it looks like Avoid the Zoid did lose next type there, unfortunately. Blackout has rotated to the southern side of the circle. We've got Alistral and Luke Ultra over to the west, and of course Resolves and his team are camping out these buildings with Fallen and a few just outside the walls. So Fallen has been lucky to rush in there. Obviously, Resolves and his team were a bit distracted to the south with all that action going on, but look at Ultra now getting punished by Zoid from across the map. Blackout obviously just proning it out behind some bushes here, knowing to get involved and just going for those placement points with a minute to go on his own.
Yeah, Blackout painting really passive right now. He's just trying to rank tank for his team, doing a good job of it. You can see there Zoid putting in work, Les getting the hit on a Listral, and V1. All the Avoid the Zoid guys playing very smart right now, making those nice shots and making sure they connect. But Blackout, they're very unaware that he's out there in that field. As you can see, Zoid not even looking that direction. So Blackout just proning it out. V1 may be going for the kill right now if he knows about it, but nope, doesn't seem to. Just driving around. V1 doing what V1 does best, and that's flanking the circle for his team. Blackout has let a smoke out, which has kind of notified Avoid the Zoid someone is back here. That may have not been the best play for him, but he's given himself a bit of cover. If he can push out on Zoid, Zoid pushes up this hill, he might get a nice little flank, but Les is holding that left rock and pinning him down. Avoid the Zoid pushing out and just covering this whole entire edge, which is really, really nice play by them.
Blackout has dropped to Les, so well played by him. That smoke wasn't the best time, but he obviously didn't know that Dacia wasn't coming for him, and he could have tanked it out, but unfortunately he does get dropped. V1 later on to smoke him as he went past the third person, but now we've got Resolves. Zeke dropping ball bags nicely there, gets finished off by Fat Texter. Resolves jumping through the window. It'll be interesting to see if Navi can do it as well. They both didn't stuff it up. Resolves though getting dropped now by V1. Nice headshot by him, fallen. Knocked out of Zeke with the UMP. That's well played by him as well. Navi stuck outside the zone. He's taking some serious damage. He will die, and we've got 5 players alive, dropping simultaneously. With only 1 to go, it's fallen, and they do drop. So that's another nice win there for Avoid the Zoid.
Avoid the Zoid, playing smart, playing their game, just going through the motions, playing ridge to ridge. They got caught out in a little sticky situation there. They were north of Gatco. They found themselves surrounded by a couple of teams, but they played it out. They let their gun game do the talking for them. Zoid making 8 kills. You know, V1 was 6. That's a nice game by Avoid the Zoid, and you know it's what we expect from them.
Yeah, incredibly well played by them. Also a nice second by Fallen, those guys. Unlucky there for Resolves and his team. Had the advantage on that second last circle, but couldn't get out of those buildings quick enough at the end. So unfortunately, that's the wrap up for tonight with those 3 games being done.
Yeah, very interesting games. You know, final game being taken out by Avoid the Zoid. They played well. They also won the first. So definitely putting themselves in a very nice position out in the lead there in terms of leaderboard. So yeah, that's it for tonight, guys, for the CGL Season 2 finals, rounds 4 to 6. We're going to be back next Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Tune in. If you haven't followed, make sure you follow the channel to know when we go live. There'll also be tweets out on the Twitter, but make sure to tune in next week. I'm Dwarf. It's been Jungle. It's been a pleasure, mate. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. And that's been the CGL Season 2 finals, rounds 4 to 6. So see you next Tuesday, guys. Take it easy.
Bye.